Sure. My name's Tom Tiding. I run an organization called Hong Kong Stories, and it's actually really simple. All we do is we get together and we tell each other things that happen to us. And that's it. That's all it is. But in that kind of simple interaction, we are able to get to know who our neighbors are. We're able to get to know people that we wouldn't otherwise meet. And I think we're really able to form a real sense of community in this big city. I think that's a bit of the question is, if you could travel into the past, for a month, when would you go and who would you like to meet? And I think probably a lot of people are thinking about, like, oh, if I could go into the past, maybe I could stop some terrible thing from happening. You know, like I could kill Hitler when he was a baby. I didn't make that up. That's in a movie. But I kind of think that the butterfly effect, that if you change one thing, then other things would happen that would be just as bad. Like say you pop over to the Titanic, which would be a lot of fun because you'd get to go on the Titanic and it looks like a great party, at least if you're in upper class, sort of like Hong Kong today. But I mean, if you go there and you could just go up into the bridge and say, look, there's an iceberg over there. Just why don't you steer a little to the right? All those people would live, but who would they become? What would they do? And we have no way of knowing. And just the way that people seem to make the same mistakes over and over again makes me wonder whether, okay, you avert one catastrophe, but do you create another one? So I think I would try time travel only for purely hedonistic reasons. And it's not because I don't want to avert catastrophes, but if I could go back to the 1960s and the era of free love, then I probably would. The other thing about that, though, is that when you time travel, there are no consequences to you. See, because you'd be able to pop in for a month and just live it up, and then by the time the shit hits the fan, you would take off back to your decade, back to your time period. And isn't that what everybody really wants to do when they say they time travel? They want to just take that slice of time and live in that time, and then pretend like nothing else had any consequences, good or bad. And the more I got to thinking about it, I'm like, well, maybe this wouldn't be so great, and maybe really the only time travel you need is to try to make the most of where you are right now. If you can fit more into a day, that's kind of time travel too, and that's time travel you live in. What superpower would I have? Honestly, this is an unorthodox superpower, but how about curing depression? Because what actually stops people from doing the things they want to do, from going after things, from grabbing them? You talk about depression and you see people that are depressed, and there's nothing you can do to help them. They just need to wait through it and wait until there's a day when they feel better. And you see so many talented people, especially talented and artistic people, that really struggle with this, and there's just nothing we can do other than just help them wait it out. And that can be excruciating for everybody. And I just think we'd be able to get so much more out of people's talents if I had the superpower of being able to go, zoop, you're cured.
Super cool. Cool stuff. Okay, so would you like to throw a question out to our crowd?
I didn't come up with a question.
Take your time. I think we have plenty of time.
Yeah. One of my pet peeves is that people think that just being positive fixes everything, that the most important thing is to have a good attitude and all of that. But there's a moment at which positivity has to fail you. We live short lives, and people that we love are going to go away, and sometimes permanently. Accepting that as a fact doesn't mean that you're negative, though. It doesn't mean you're not going to do anything. So when you kind of accept that you're going to have a short life, it's going to be shorter than anyone would want, what will give meaning to your life? Not just the sort of simple narrative of let's all be positive, but what actually will make your life meaningful? And that's my question.